Hey everybody, it's Thursday, and this is Wendy with Crooked House Herbals. We are here for Herbal Wisdom 101, week number 9. And I still have my peeps and cheeps in my office, so you may hear some playing around. My ducks are kind of rambunctious and noisy, but they're so cute. I love watching them. So, a couple more weeks and maybe I can move them outside. My chickens are feathering up and things are looking good. Okay, so tonight I do have a couple questions that were sent in, but then I also decided that I thought I would talk to you tonight about your common culinary herbs and what you might be missing about them. So I think you might be surprised at, just a lot of people get intimidated about growing herbs and not knowing which ones to get and how to grow them and blah, and that's understandable. It's a little overwhelming. There's a lot of herbs and, you just don't really know where to go with that a lot of times, but I'm telling you, you can stick with some of the basics, the ones you would probably use in food, sauces and things, and turn right around and use them medicinally in ways that you may never have expected. So, first thing we'll do is get to the questions. One of the questions was, I have had carpal tunnel surgery, and the scars on the palms of my hands and itch me all the time. What can I do? Well, my first recommendation would be a product that I make called Restore, because it contains all of the right herbs, and it's also got comfrey, which rebuilds cells and would probably eventually eliminate those scars altogether. It's really good at getting rid of scars. But if you don't want to do that, then the herbs that would work best with that would be comfrey, of course, and calendula, chamomile, aloe vera would also be a good one, and peppermint oil would all be good ones to apply to those scars to stop the itching. And the peppermint is, I know people go, peppermint oil, but it's one that works kind of as a nerving. It's real good for like shingles and those kinds of things, because it works on a different level. It works more on the nerve level. So yeah, add a little of that into the rest of the mix, and you'd have a pretty good little oil rub or whatever you want to use to help with that. So that's that. Before I forget, also, I wanted to remind everybody about the workshop that's taking place here at Restoration Ranch in Alpena, Arkansas, April 21st, which is a Friday, from 10 to 2:30, and it focuses on introduction to living with herbs. It's called Weeds and Wisdom, and I'm actually gearing it more for homeschoolers and their families. But anybody that's in the area that might want to join us is welcome to. You can go to crookedhouseherbals.com and go to workshops and learning and scroll down and find that particular workshop, because I have 3 scheduled for the spring and like through June, I think. And pick Weeds and Wisdom, Introduction to Learning with Herbs, and register there. There's also the link for the workbook is also there, so you can go ahead and just pick that up on Amazon and you'll be ready to go. As soon as I get all of the registrations in, I will be closing registration just a few days beforehand. So once I collect all of the registration emails in, then I will send out emails with directions and maybe some other supply suggestions and that kind of thing. So register now, because space is kind of limited. This is my first go around at my new place, and so I'm not sure exactly. World is figured out. I'm hoping that the weather cooperates and we can do a lot of what we're going to do outside. But there are going to be some hands-on activities and some things that they'll be learning to do, making tinctures, making oils, and messing with herbs. So if it's nice, I'll set it up outside. Otherwise, we'll have to go into the Crooked House Herbal shop and we'll do it down there. So I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, let's move on. So I was actually thinking of that song today, you know, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And I thought, you know, all of those herbs are so amazing, and I think we need to talk about them because, like I said, a lot of people get intimidated and not knowing, you know, some of these other herbs by name or what they do, and maybe don't have time to do all the research and whatnot. So, but everybody knows about rosemary, and everybody knows about thyme and sage and parsley, and so we're gonna start with rosemary tonight. Now, rosemary acts kind of, okay, first of all, the first 3 or 4 we're going to talk about are all in the mint family. So there's something special about mints, and they work in your body. They're really good topically, or internally, and they work with your nervous system, and you know, on your nerves as well as, you know, on your skin or whatever. But they're natural analgesics. They're natural pain relievers for that reason. So rosemary, some of the highlights with rosemary are interesting. First of all, it's called the remembrance herb because it does stimulate activity in your brain that helps you remember. So there have been some studies that connect it to some positive outcomes with things like Alzheimer's and, you know, memory loss. Let me see if I can find where I have one of those studies. It also, you know, along those same lines, is very, very good for any kind of a headache, but especially like tension headache or something where you've got a lot of constriction up here. Rosemary is a really good one for that. So let me tell you, I'll tell you this cute little story first that I came across and I thought was really cute. It was when Queen Elizabeth of Hungary was paralyzed, a hermit invented Hungary water, which is a powerful distillate of rosemary oil and alcohol. And it was rubbed on her limbs and eventually cured her of the problem. Another rendition of that story was that the queen wanted to retain her flawless complexion without going to any trouble to do so, so she spent a good deal of time working for charity. So she always wanted to be beautiful and youthful, and so the hermit made the distilled oil for the Hungary water and put used the rosemary flowers. So I'm guessing, you know, this is an old story, but I'm guessing that the distillate was probably more like a hydrosol, what we would call a hydrosol today, where you separate the water, the infused water, from the oil. And anyway, the rosemary was what they attributed to getting rid of her paralysis. So there is actually some truth to that, in that when you know how rosemary works, and that it works on your nervous system and with your nerves, then eventually applying a rosemary oil to the affected areas could reverse some paralysis, or at least bring back feeling and that kind of thing. So I thought it was cute. And but I do know that rosemary works very well for a headache, because I've used it lots of times. And a lot of times that's my herb of choice to diffuse in my house, is rosemary oil. It keeps your thinking sharp. You know, it helps with mental clarity. If you mix it with some grapefruit oil, you have got a top-notch combination there, because grapefruit also enhances your ability to think and your mental clarity. So if you put those two together, you've got a great combination. Rosemary also, like I said, is very good for memory. There's been quite a few studies using rosemary. So those are just a few of the benefits of rosemary, but you can really tell the difference. Now, what I would do if I was having a headache is I would take the rosemary essential oil and I would just tap it on my temples, put it down the back of my neck, maybe a little bit behind my ears, and if it's possible, give yourself, you know, a 10-minute timeout. Lay down and rest, or at least sit still and close your eyes. And I've told you before, you absorb 80% more through your skin, so it doesn't take long for that to get into the inside of your head and start working. Again, like I said, rosemary, peppermint, a lot of those mints are natural analgesics. So analgesics are pain relievers. Let me see what else I can find for you on that. There's a couple other herbs that you can combine. Well, if you combined peppermint and rosemary and maybe some wood betony, you would have another really good headache formula. As soon as the headache begins, if you can treat it with the rosemary on the temples and the forehead, the veins back here, and behind your ears, you will get relief almost immediately. It works really well. So I would say have rosemary on hand. Diffuse it in your house. You know, if you've got a lot of reading to do some days, or computer work, or, you know, anything that requires you to focus, bust out the rosemary. It's good. You know, another thing that it's good for is combine it with some peppermint oil and maybe a little bit of, I hate to say Vaseline because I'm not a big proponent of petroleum-based products, but something that you could, maybe some aloe vera gel, like scrape some aloe vera up and mix the two in with that. And then if you've got, it makes a good nose ointment if you need to open up your nasal cavities, or even if you've got irritation around your nose and you're wanting to get some relief from it that way. Let's see if I've got more questions coming in. I'll wait. Okay, so rosemary. Rosemary is good for a lot more than seasoning your food. She's a good one. I like Rosie. All right, peppermint, also a mint in the same family, is amazingly good for many, many things other than, you know, flavoring ice cream or candy or something like that. Peppermint, and you know, the cool thing about peppermint is it'll fill up a space. It's cool, and sometimes it's not so cool. But if you can grow your peppermint in a contained area, it'll completely fill up that area, and you'll always have enough. You'll always have plenty of peppermint because it is prolific, invasive, some would say. But that's only if you just kind of let it take off. I don't mind it. I let it grow because I use a lot of peppermint. But okay, so let's start at the beginning with peppermint. You can use it as an analgesic, which is a pain reliever. Like I said, it's very good for shingles. If you wanted to make an analgesic oil, like an infused oil, you would put some of the dried herb into a jar. I would say fill it about half full, and then maybe 2/3 full, and then top it off with a cold pressed organic olive oil. Cap it off tight, label it with the date, shake it up good, stick it in the dark. And, well, sometimes, I mean, oils actually, hold on one second. If you're going to infuse oils, they can go, hang on. They can go, I used to like to keep mine in the windowsill, and they can actually be warm. Tinctures need to go in the dark, though. So you can put your infused oils in a windowsill or wherever, and that way that will help you remember to shake them every day, because you need to do that. But you can create an oil that's, peppermint is also very good for your GI tract and your stomach, IBS, that kind of thing. So if you mixed it with some catnip and some ginger and some wild yam, and made yourself a nice infused oil, maybe some fennel seed. Fennel seed's really good. But if you use fennel seed, make sure you throw it through a quick little grind in either a food processor or some way to chop it up, mortar and pestle even, just to crush it a little bit. So, and then add that all together and put it in a jar with, and make an oil with that, or a tincture. You could tincture that too. So peppermint is also, I use peppermint like in my tooth polish. I use peppermint in a lot of things. So, but as an analgesic, you really, it's soothing and cooling, but at the same time, it's very good for pain. Like I said, I had a friend who was very, very surprised how well peppermint essential oil worked on shingles. Amazed. But you walk around smelling like a peppermint stick, but at least you're not in pain. Teas are probably the most common way that people use peppermint, and that's fine. The only thing with infused teas is that, you have to drink more of it because it's not concentrated. It's not an extract, or it's not strong. So you'd have to drink 2 or 3 cups of peppermint tea a day to get the same effect as a half a dropper full of a tincture or some essential oil. Let's see. All right, I made a list. Some of the formulas well known using peppermint leaves in their teas. A flu remedy, I would add elderflowers and peppermint leaves. Gallstone tea, add some cardamom seed to your peppermint. Let's see. Oh, and with the gallstone tea, you might be better off to not just use peppermint, but get as many different types of mint that you have. Like if you've got some lemon balm, and if you've got spearmint and peppermint, you can add a little rosemary to that, because rosemary is an awesome liver cleanse and good for your gallbladder as well. So put all of those together and make a really powerful tea with that, and to clean your liver or your gallbladder. It's a good gallbladder cleanse. An anti-flatulence tea, I would add peppermint, but I would also add some fennel and maybe a little ginger and goldenrod. Goldenrod is great for that. So that would make a really good anti-gas, anti-flatulent tea. Then we've got better body odor tea, 2 parts peppermint, 2 parts spearmint, 1 part alfalfa, 1 part nettle. and that will adjust some of the things in your body and help you to neutralize body odor from the inside out instead of slathering on deodorant. That will someday probably make you sick. Don't know. Depends on what you use. Breath freshening tea. You take your peppermint and you add some dandelion and some aniseed and cardamom, little cinnamon, maybe some orange peel. Put it together in a tea, and it's a good breath freshening tea. Digestive aids, cough tea. That one's a nice one. I like it. Oh, an antifungal tea. How's this one? Cinnamon, bark, lemongrass. I've talked to you about lemongrass as being very antifungal. It's good to use lemongrass in your foot bath. When I used to go to this one place to get pedicures, I would always take my lemongrass essential oil and ask them if I could put that in the water instead of whatever they were using, because I knew it was antifungal, among other things, and it smelled really good. So, let's see. Where was I? Antifungal. So you got lemongrass, chamomile, ginger root, peppermint, and thyme. Nice. And then you've got a headache tea that's got chamomile and peppermint, lemon balm, rosemary, and dandelion. And the reason the dandelion is in there, because dandelion is really, really good for cleansing and nourishing your liver. And people don't realize this, but a lot of times, most times, a headache will stem from toxicity on the inside. And your liver, of course, is your filtering organ. So it all tracks back to your liver. So if you can feed your liver and keep your liver healthy, a lot of times you won't have any of these other issues. But the list goes on. Immune health, irritable bowel tea. That's got chamomile, marshmallow, fennel, licorice root, and peppermint. Menstrual cramp, lung health, elderflower, hyssop, green tea leaves, mullein, peppermint, fennel, ginger, licorice, rose hips, thyme. Nausea relief, stomach soothing, baby colic, summer harmony tea, hibiscus, elderflower, peppermint, lemon balm, yum. Okay, ant repellent. You can prevent ants from entering your home. Put peppermint oil on cotton balls to be put on shelves and along entryways, or spray the oil mixed with water along with these same areas. And what I like to do with several of these essential oils, and I'll tell you about one other one that we're going to talk about tonight, is I just take the oil and I just drop a few drops onto, like, I take a paper towel and I fold it long ways and make it skinny, and then I drop some essential oil on the paper towel and I stick it back at the back of my counter and put my other stuff in front of it, and that keeps the mice away. If you've got mice issues, they don't like essential oils. In fact, bugs in general don't like essential oil. That's one reason my Don't Bug Me insect repellent for people and dogs and whatever is so effective, because I make it all with essential oils and camphor. I put camphor in it. So rosemary is the remembrance herb. I think I told you that, and it's one that they've been doing some studies for Alzheimer's with. Rosemary and oregano are both antioxidant mints. So we know that antioxidants are what we need, because essentially we're rusting inside. We're oxidizing. And so these are antioxidant herbs. Basil, bee balm, horehound, hyssop, they're all, lemon balm, they're all in the mint family. And marjoram, oregano, peppermint, rosemary, sage, savory, spearmint, and thyme. if you throw all that stuff together, you're going to have a powerful antioxidant tea. So I would say, I don't know, 3 or 4 cups a day if you're really trying to detox would really be beneficial. Or make it into an iced tea or something that you can sip throughout the day. Put it in a water bottle or some kind of container and just drink it. Okay, let's move on to the next herb. Is this the same? Okay, I think this is still in, I'm still talking a little bit about rosemary with this one because I made some notes here about your liver. And rosemary is real good for detoxifying your liver. I mean, this is what I'm saying. A lot of people don't know. You'll have your cute little rosemary bush growing outside your back door or whatever, but you just scrape off a few leaves when you're putting it in their sauce or something like that. But rosemary is powerful, and it will work wonders to cleanse your body and calm your mind, help you think. Chemical imbalances in your body most of the time stem from liver issues. So if you can balance that organ's function, then your body will stabilize. A lot of things will be better as a result. There's 2 organs that you have for detoxing. One of them's your kidneys and one of them's your liver. And they're already working as hard as they can to keep up with just your daily life. So instead of adding to the problem, you might try giving them a little help. Let's see. What can I tell you about? So yeah, some of the herbs that would help cleanse your liver. I think I've talked to you about some of these. Milk thistle, dandelion, Oregon grapefruit. Some of those, if you add to your, and alfalfa. Alfalfa is a really good one too. That's why when we talked about sprouting, I really recommend that people sprout alfalfa because it's a great way to get it in you. I mean, there's nothing better than alfalfa sprouts. And I like tomato sandwiches with alfalfa sprouts and tomato, maybe a little bit of onion or something like that on some real yummy sprouted grain bread. I love it. I just got through putting away a big container of sunflower sprouts that I just finished, and I had some tonight on my sandwich before I started here. So good. I love sunflower sprouts. They're my favorite. My dog likes them too. Okay. Rosemary and skullcap work together to calm your liver functions when you need them. I've talked to you about skullcap before in relation to how because it's a nervine and it works well for those who are trying to get unaddicted to certain things. It also calms your central nervous system for in other ways, but you put it with rosemary and it works really well for calming your liver. If you've got things going on, it helps to they work as sedatives kind of, or antispasmodics would be another one, a better word. They relieve restlessness, anxiety, nervousness, and a lot of that stuff comes with drug withdrawal. That's probably one reason that they're so effective, because all of those things are all connected to withdrawing from things, even just getting off caffeine, So remember rosemary and skullcap together if you're working on something like that. Okay. Let's take a look at another household herb, thyme. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And thyme, get this, okay? I'll just run the list down real quick, and then we'll talk about some of these. It fights acne, and I'm sure you can already guess why when I finish this. Lowers your blood pressure, helps to alleviate a cough, boosts your immunity, disinfects, repels pests, aromatherapy, boosting your mood, culinary uses, of course, preventing bacterial infections, helping to treat yeast infections, possibly helping against certain types of cancer. Okay, that's just the short list for thyme. When thyme is steeped in alcohol for days or weeks, you know, like you're making a tincture or whatever, it turns into a solution known as a tincture. When you use this, it's very antibacterial. So you can use a thyme tincture as a face rinse, okay? But you can also take it internally. And we've talked about whatever's on your skin is, you know, whatever's happening here is happening inside first. So if you've got an acne issue, you've got to take care of what's going on the inside first, because that's what's coming out. But thyme is very antibacterial, antifungal. So if you use it topically, it's going to go in, but you can also take it, you know, just take a dropper full a day or whatever, and it will start to work on taking care of if you've got some kind of a low-grade bacterial infection going on or something like that. Then thyme is your good friend. Or, you know, if you like the taste of it really well, just drink a bunch of thyme tea, but make sure that it's good, not just some generic cheapo tea bag, but find either loose thyme, or if you've got it growing in your garden, pick it fresh and make your tea with that. You want it as potent as you can get it. Okay? Blood pressure. There were some studies that determined that thyme, an extract of thyme was able to significantly lower heart rate in rats with high blood pressure. It was also able to lower their cholesterol. So, thyme's definitely not going to hurt you. There's nothing about it that will hurt you. So, if you've got cholesterol issues or if you've got high blood pressure, give it a shot. Give it a shot. The essential oil, which is obtained from the leaves, is also a natural cough remedy. I put thyme in my comfort cough syrup and tincture. I also put horehound and colt's foot and some other really good ones. That stuff works great. It works really good. I love my cough tincture. Thyme and ivy leaves, combination of that, help alleviate coughing and other symptoms of acute bronchitis. And another study found a combination of thyme and primula extracts reduce inflammation and mucus in your bronchial tubes and also in your lungs. So, next time you feel like you're getting a sore throat or you've got a tight chest, bust out the thyme. Even if you just use the essential oil, diffuse it in your house, put a few drops in some water and drink it. Make sure it's not just the cheap stuff from Walmart. Make sure it's food grade, you know, good stuff if you're going to ingest it. But, or like I said, make yourself some good strong tea with some fresh thyme out of your window herb garden. You know, it's not hard to grow thyme. You can do it. So that's why I'm talking to you about these herbs tonight. So these are all things that you can do yourself easily. You can go to the store and buy a little window box herb kit, and I guarantee you it's going to have all these in it. So do it and grow your own medicine. Okay, all the vitamins your body needs every day can be challenging. Getting all those can be challenging. Thyme contains, it's packed actually, with vitamin A, vitamin C, copper, fiber, iron, and manganese. So you can check those off your list. A lot of vitamin C in thyme. Who knew, right? Mold is a common yet potentially dangerous air pollutant that can lurk in your home once you identify it. Thyme oil can be the answer. Like I said, diffuse it. Diffuse it in your air. Use it in your, make an all-natural cleaner with thyme oil and peppermint oil and lavender. Lavender is very antibacterial, antifungal. Smells good, and then put some apple cider vinegar in there, and you've got a great cleaner, spray cleaner for everything. Yeah, but the thymol that's in thyme, that's the constituent, the ingredient, kills mold. So know that. It's also one, like I told you before, it's an anti-pest one. I like using thyme on my paper towels. I told you my little paper towel thing. But it will target bacteria, viruses, rats, mice, and other small pests, whatever they may be. They don't like thyme. So use it. Use it. Won't hurt anybody. Okay? It also kills, is effective, I should say, against mosquitoes and their larvae. 4 drops of thyme oil for every teaspoon of olive oil, or 5 drops for every 2 ounces of water will make yourself a repellent. Okay? So, it's easy. You can put it on babies and it won't hurt them. Okay? Thyme essential oil is often used for aromatic and therapeutic purposes because of carvacol, which is another ingredient in thyme, and it is shown to increase concentrations of serotonin and dopamine. Those are 2 hormones that regulate your mood. If you use thyme or thyme oil regularly, it might have a positive effect on your feelings and your mood. Have you ever had food poisoning? Well, my favorite is, of course, bentonite clay for that. But you can also, thyme can actually help prevent it. So if you found that thyme oil showed potential as a natural preservative of food products against several common foodborne bacteria that cause human illness, even at low concentrations. Another study in 2011 found thyme oil effective against resistant strains of staph, E. coli. There's another one here that I can't pronounce. Pneumonia, other bacterias. It's important to note that ingesting thyme may not prevent you from getting food poisoning, but it might. So, and it's not going to hurt you because it's antibacterial. If you've got something rolling around in there, you've eaten something that's slightly off, or you've ingested something that's toxic, the thyme that's in you will fight that off, and you might not get sick. If you do, bentonite clay. Take care of it in about 30 minutes. Love that stuff. I keep it handy at all times. Low doses, another study found that low doses of thyme essential oil to be a fungicide against Candida, which is our favorite yeast infection bug. Even if it's been resistant to the common antibiotics that they usually prescribe for that, and the medications for Candida, thyme works better than those. So, again, what have you got to lose, right? And then there's been some studies of how thyme has influenced cancer. There was a 2018 study found that both thyme and clove essential oil, and I've talked to you about clove before too, inhibit breast cancer cell lines. There's another study in 2021 that replicated this and found very similar findings. So, thyme and clove. These studies provide evidence of a potential benefit of thyme for cancer. So, like I said, what have you got to lose, right? Nothing. And you can grow it yourself. You know, if you wanted to experiment with essential oils, then, you know, you would want to pick up a good thyme essential oil, but, you know, just for everyday stuff, you know, you could do a lot with just growing your own. Okay, that's enough on thyme. Let's talk about parsley. All right. Now, I recommend parsley for a lot of my clients that have swelling issues, edema, gout, those kinds of things, because parsley root is really, really good for that. It's also really good for your kidneys. But let's look here. First of all, a half a cup of chopped fresh parsley provides 108% of your vitamin A, a gram of fiber, less than a gram of fat, 1 gram of protein in a half a cup of parsley. Okay? 2 carbs, 11 calories, 53% of the vitamin C you need, 547% of the vitamin K you need, 11% folate, and 4% potassium in a half a cup of parsley. That's fresh parsley. So, it's very rich in vitamins, very low in all the things that you need it to be low in, and it is very rich in antioxidants. We know who our antioxidants are, our carotenoids and our flavonoids and our vitamin C. Parsley's got tons of it. So it's going to break down and attack all those free radicals or all the damage that we get from free radicals. And, you know, it's not just that pretty green thing they put on your plate. You know, it'll actually freshen your breath, too. I think that's probably, somebody probably started it for that reason. It's like your little breath mint. But it also aids in your digestion. So if you eat your parsley last, you're doing your body a favor in many ways. Okay. It's got 2 main flavonoids. Studies show that diets rich in flavonoids may lower your risk of conditions including colon cancer, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease. Furthermore, beta-carotene and lutein are 2 antioxidants known as carotenoids, and they are also in parsley. They help reduce your risk of certain diseases, including lung cancer. Vitamin C also has strong antioxidant effects and plays an important role in supporting immune health, which we know, and protects against chronic diseases. So if you've got something that just is recurring and constant, vitamin C needs to be increased in your body. Interestingly, dried parsley may be higher in antioxidants than fresh. In fact, one study found that the dried herb has 17 times more antioxidant content than its fresh counterpart. So, that's handy, you know, because you can either grow it and dry it, or you could just buy it dried. It supports bone health. And why does it do that? Well, part of it is because of its huge amount of vitamin K that it's got in it. It's got a lot of vitamin K in it. So it's good for your bones. Half a cup of that will give you 547% of your daily required vitamin K. Okay, vitamin K helps build stronger bones, knocks out the osteoporosis option, activates certain proteins that increase bone mineral density. Man, it makes you just want to go have some parsley right now, doesn't it? Some studies show that eating foods high in vitamin K may reduce your risk of fractures. So the older you get, the more you might want to consider that. Cancer, it also contains cancer-fighting substances. Oxidative stress, a condition characterized by an imbalance in levels of antioxidants and free radicals, is, you know, a big contributor to cancer. The main thing with cancer is you just got to get rid of the food it's eating in you. You know, most of the time you've got a lot of sugar and other toxic stuff in there that cancer just feeds on. If you clean your system out really well for a long enough time, it starves and it doesn't have anything to eat. Those subgroups of flavonoids in parsley, the two that I mentioned earlier, have shown anti-cancer activity, and then you've got the vitamin C, which is also one that contributes to that. Okay, lutein, beta-carotene, and zeaxanthin are 3 carotenoids in parsley that help protect your eyes and promote healthy vision. Carotenoids are pigments found in plants that have powerful antioxidant activity. Carrots have a lot of carotenoid. Lutein and zeaxanthin may prevent age-related macular degeneration. In fact, eating foods rich in lutein and zeaxanthin may reduce your risk of late AMD by up to 26%. Beta-carotene is another carotenoid that supports eye health. This carotenoid can be converted into vitamin A in your body. Who knew, right? And parsley is really easy to grow, guys. Really. I mean, it'll come back. It'll come back every year. So, grow some parsley, for crying out loud, and start using it for other things than decorating your dishes or chopping it up and putting it in your eggs or whatever. Okay, vitamin A is essential for eye health as it helps protect the cornea, which is also in parsley. Kidney health. Parsley contains lutein, zeaxanthin, and beta-carotene, plant compounds that protect eye health and may reduce your risk of certain age-related. Okay, we got that. Your kidneys are important organs that constantly filter your blood, removing waste and extra water, which is then excreted with your urine. Okay, so a study with kidneys, in this study, those with kidney stones found that those treated with parsley had decreased urinary calcium and protein excretion, as well as increased urinary pH and urinary urination compared to the control group. So they had less calcium in their urine because of the parsley. It's also been shown to have anti-inflammatory properties due to its antioxidants, including flavonoids, carotenoids, and vitamin C. So there's your inflammation box checked, okay? Parsley may help keep your kidneys healthy by reducing high blood pressure, a major risk factor for kidney disease. It's high in nitrates that help dilate blood vessels, which improves blood flow and lowers high blood pressure. Research indicates that nitrate-rich foods like parsley can help maintain healthy blood pressure levels. Okay, parsley Anti-inflammatory properties of parsley, along with its ability to regulate urinary pH and reduce blood pressure, may help keep your kidneys healthy and lower your risk of kidney stones. Parsley. All right. So now let's move on to sage. How am I doing on time? Got 10 minutes. All right, let's talk about sage for a few minutes, and then I wanted to talk to you about oregano too, but I might have to save that for another time. Okay, sage is a wonder herb. I don't know if you like sage. I love sage. I think it just makes me happy just smelling it. And it triggers a lot of memories. You know, like certain foods we used to eat, especially like at Thanksgiving. And I don't know, I love sage. Okay, it's a wonder herb for its health benefits, including enhancing your brain function and reducing inflammation. Sage plants have a powerful antioxidant properties, boosting your memory and cognitive performance and promoting a healthy inflammatory response. Sage leaves are also known for their immune boosting properties that can protect against infection. Drinking sage tea regularly can help raise antioxidant defenses and lower your LDL cholesterol. And it also is a good oral mouthwash. It will help protect and increase your mouth health. Okay? So, you know, next time you're drinking your tea, swish it around a little. You know, Dr. Christopher says you're supposed to chew everything anyway. Chew your juice, so just give it a little swish and give your mouth a little help. Okay, here's some ways that it can boost your brain function, okay, and reduce your inflammation. Contains compounds that protect your brain from oxidative stress and improve cognitive performance. These compounds can also enhance memory and have been shown to help prevent cognitive decline in older adults. Drink up, guys. Sage has anti-inflammatory properties that may help combat chronic disease such as arthritis. Why? Because arthritis is an inflammatory condition. Heart disease and cancer. The antioxidants in sage can prevent damage to cells and tissues caused by inflammation. Drinking sage tea can also help reduce anxiety and improve your mood. Sage contains compounds that may have a calming effect and promote relaxation. So, sage and lemon balm tea for those of you that can't sleep well. Some of the benefits of using sage internally. Let's look at that real quick. Okay, wait. Dried sage leaves can be used in cooking as a spice, can also be taken internally as a liquid, spray, lozenge, capsule, or tablet. Phenolic compounds in sage may have an antioxidant effect. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, rosmarinic acid is what's found in rosemary, but it's also found in sage. So, relieving headaches and sore throats, reducing oxidative stress in your body, protecting against free radical damage, reducing inflammation, protecting against bacterial and viral infections, supporting digestion, protecting against memory loss, reducing depression, or improving your mood. Check, 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 check. All good things from sage. And again, sage is usually included in that window box herb kit that you can buy just about anywhere. So, grow some sage. Some research suggests that active compounds in sage protect against neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's. Okay, let's see. It talks a little bit, and I feel like there are some benefits of burning sage. You know, people call it smudging, I think, or, you know, there's different terms for it, but burning sage, and, you know, it's basically involved with, it's letting the smoke fill your house. Of course, if you have sensitivity to smoke, you know, you might not want to do this, but it is, it actually cleans your air. It'll clear viruses. It'll clear bacteria. It'll clean your air. When the smoke clears, you've got clean air. So it's antimicrobial. It'll keep things from coming back. Kills bacteria, viruses, fungus, and all kinds of different things. So it does create a smoke. So if you've got asthma or if you're prone to sensitivity to smoke, this isn't going to work for you. But you could diffuse it in an essential oil diffuser. Use the essential oil and still get the benefits of clearing the bacteria from your air, and again, it repels insects, so it'll purify. It's a purifying herb. So I love sage, and I think you could probably grow to love it too. It's very good, and it's a really pleasant, nice tea. Sage tea is nice. I like it. Okay, so I think I probably have to stop now because I'm running out of time. But again, remember it for oral pain, and as a mouthwash. Again, clove is also really good for that as well. What else? It contains several anti-cancer compounds, including carnosol, camphor, and rosmarinic acid. It's good stuff. I mean, if you ever want to just do a nice little research project, research the benefits of sage. Sage and chamomile teas were linked to a decreased risk of thyroid cancer. Colon cancer was another one. So if you've got sensitivities in these areas to these different things, or if you know somebody who does, do them a favor. Buy them some nice sage tea. And, I like loose tea, but if you know for a fact that it's good organic green, bagged tea, then, that's fine too. Let's see if there's anything else I wanted. I made a list of stuff. It helps you control your blood sugar, especially if you've got type 2 diabetes. Helps to support women's health. For pregnant women, nausea, stuff like that. Natural way to reduce breast milk production. So like if you're wanting to start weaning your children or whatever. If you have an overabundance, then drink some sage tea. Don't drink it if you need the milk, though. I guess that's all on my list. That's the important stuff. But anyway, the whole idea here was to encourage you to grow some of your own herbs. I mean, these are all common herbs. These are culinary herbs for the most part. People know them for that, and you can get to know them in another way and realize that, hey, these babies are, this might be all you need for a while. So, my dog's at the door. Rosemary, thyme, peppermint, sage, oregano, but we didn't get to that. I'll try to cover some of that next week. And what else did I talk about? I think that's it. Rosemary. Yeah, and the paralysis thing I thought was interesting, but it makes sense because it's unnerving. Peppermint. And it's good for your liver. Anything that can help you with your liver condition. I'm telling you guys, you don't realize what your poor liver goes through. And that, that's just being alive. It doesn't have anything to do with any kind of substance abusing or anything else. It's just living in this world is really hard on our liver and our kidneys, and we need to do all we can do to keep them healthy and kicking. So, I hope this was good. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you will put this information to use. I know I threw a lot at you, so You can replay and rewatch this on Crooked House Herbal's YouTube channel anytime. They're all uploaded there weekly. And, of course, you can always get a hold of me, Wendy, at crookedhouseherbals.com if you need to send me an email. And I'll get right back to you as soon as I can. And I wish you a blessed rest of the week and a wonderful weekend wherever you are. And remember that nature heals you best. God bless and have a good one. Night.